And today on Wrestlethoughts, we'll be talking about what happened on Monday Night Raw, where they crowned a new WWE Women's Champion, Drew McIntyre roasting everybody, Gunther returns, and much more. Cue that intro. All right, guys, welcome to Wrestlethoughts once more. Just remember to like, subscribe, hit the notifications bell, comment. Please let us know what you want to hear. So today we're going to be talking about what happened on this edition of Monday Night Raw. The night starts with Michael Cole and Pat McAfee announcing that there will be a women's battle royal to determine who the women's world champion will be after Rhea Ripley had to relinquish her title because of injury. Unfortunately, it seems like she's going to be out for a few months, so they just decided to go ahead with someone else. And that's okay. I mean, the show must go on. So then Jay cuts a promo about his match on Backlash with Damian Priest. And then Damian Priest goes to congratulate Jay and say, hey, we are the next ones, or whatever it is. And then afterwards he turns on him and says, no, I am the next one. I am the one that's now, the one for now. So, you know, and that was actually kind of interesting. I think the turn was a little weird, but you know, it is fine. It is fine. And then JD McDonough tried to sneak up on Jey Uso, and all that happened was that Jey Uso ended up hitting Damian Priest because of JD's incompetence. And obviously Damian was pissed, but that's okay. All right, so the next part we had Awesome Truth versus DIY, where we had Tommaso Ciampa and Johnny Gargano against Awesome Truth. So that was actually a pretty decent match. It seems like Ciampa may have tweaked his left knee. I don't know, he was limping kind of awkwardly on that knee. I hope not, because he's had knee issues in the past. He's a damn good wrestler, but it seems like every time he's getting a decent push, something happens. Like probably every 6 months or something. It's like, good God, he's almost like Anthony Davis from the Lakers. Like every time you think the guy's gonna put it together, nope, something always happens. Hopefully this time it's, hopefully it was just working, and hopefully it wasn't real. But it is what it is. And if it is, hopefully it's not anything major. I mean, the match was pretty decent. Obviously, you had an Awesome Truth win. But what bothered me about this match was Tommaso Ciampa using the pedigree. And not necessarily about him using the pedigree by itself. It's using the pedigree and not as a finisher. Is the pedigree going to turn into the new DDT? We had Seth Rollins try it. Didn't win. We had Cody try it. Same thing. Now we have Tommaso Ciampa doing it, and he doesn't win either. Like, it's just going to turn into one of those, like the Blue Thunder Bomb, one of these signature-ish moves. Like, honestly, I don't know about you, but to me, the pedigree should be protected at all costs. That should be one of those moves, like, once it's done, it's over. Kind of like the Razor's Edge, or, maybe even a stunner. That should be it. Like, once it's done, it's over. And I can understand if it was on a pay-per-view, but on Raw, come on, man. Like, no. But whatever. So that was a decent match. Judgment Day is having problems. Apparently, Santos was subbing for Dominic because Dominic's hurt. Not sure what happened. Apparently, it was in his match against WrestleMania. Not sure if he's really hurt or not, or if it's just a ruse so he can have some. So there's some issues in Judgment Day, and he can go with Santos and his group. Not sure if that's the case. But but in the end of the day, it was just another another issue in the Judgment Day, and Damian Priest again is pissed. So Imperium arrives to Monday Night Raw, and Gunther talks about him not having pressure anymore, where they lifted all this weight off of him, and now he could just go and do what he wants to do. That he can go against one of the world champions, he can go try to get his IC championship back, whatever he wants to do, he's open to do. And that he also said that he returned prestige to that championship, which I completely agree. I mean, that championship was in the gutter until Gunther had it, and look, he made absolute gold out of that championship. In fact, that championship belt, physically, I never liked it that much, but Gunther made it into something, and I'm like, you know what? It's actually not that bad. It actually fit him really, really well. But then after that, he also said that he wants to be King of the Ring. He declared himself for that tournament. We also had New Day show up for whatever random reason. and started, throwing barbs at each other, started roasting each other. I know Gunther told Woods that he's king of clowns because he was talking about how he won King of the Ring last year, and Gunther did not care. But then he said that he's going to return respect to the King of the Ring. Then the New Day has a match with Imperium, and the match was okay, but that wasn't the most important part. The most important thing was that after the match is done, all of a sudden Vinci takes the pin, right? He basically loses the match, and afterwards you have Kaiser go up to him and start like coddling him and hugging him, even gives him a couple of kisses and everything, kind of like being a good friend and whatnot. Then they go outside. He keeps on hugging him, a lot of touchy-feely, which I was like, okay, interesting. Where's this gonna go? And then he just whacks him and throws him against the ring apron where they have that screen, and it went out. Nice touch. And he just goes in and he just starts destroying this guy. Like he throws him against the stairs, all of these things. Like he just literally destroys Vinci. Then he goes backstage where you have Gunther and Gorilla, and he's telling Gunther like, oh yeah, see, I told you this is what we had to do. And Gunther was definitely happy about that. So it seems like they're going to say that Vinci was the missing link. I don't know if they're going to add anybody else. I would actually like Ilya Dragunov to join him. I know they've been talking about that forever, but if you eliminate Vinci, bringing in Ilya would not be a bad thing at all. And then eventually you could have them turn against each other and have amazing matches again. Then we had Drew McIntyre cutting a promo. Then he crossed his legs just like CM Punk. Obviously, he's still doing his whole spiel, trying to imitate Punk in his own particular way. And he's like, he starts roasting the public. Like he's like, you guys don't understand complex relationships. You guys French kiss your cousins. You guys are sick. I was like, okay. And then he's like, you guys, the only relationship you have is with your right hand. I'm like, okay, interesting. So he just kept on going in on these people. Cheap heat, but good. Like I actually kind of enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. Then you had Sheamus show up. Obviously, he's his friend, and he starts saying like, oh yeah, we used to do banger after banger after banger after banger, and you're out here just complaining and talking all this mess. Oh, you're just complaining about your situation. You actually made it at WrestleMania. You won the championship, but then you were entertained by the whole meme thing, by the T-shirt, and they beat you, and they took your championship away. Then they just start going back and forth, and Drew McIntyre says that Sheamus, instead of doing banger after banger after banger, now when he was out, he was eating burger after burger after burger. I thought it was hilarious. Then he started saying, oh yeah, they called you the doughboy, they called you all these extra things, and I was like, whoa, that was kind of fun. It's kind of childish, but yeah, it's all in good fun. I actually enjoyed it, and honestly, that's one thing that I've seen of Drew McIntyre, especially these last probably 4 or 5 months. I mean, this guy's turned into a promo monster. Like it's not just about a long promo. It's about the one-liners, like the quick things. Boom. Like he can do a long promo, but he could also give you a nice comeback like The Rock. So he has that ability now. I mean, the sky's the limit. And I expect him to have the world championship at some point this year, unless he goes to SmackDown, which I could see happening, probably winning the US championship or something. But right now, if he does stay on Raw, I do see him winning that championship. Maybe from Damian Priest or from Punk or from somebody else, but he's going to definitely win that championship before the year's done. By the way, we had Sheamus getting a win over Nakamura. Just a normal match. Obviously, Nakamura lost. Again, he's the new Dolph Ziggler, unfortunately. A guy that can work well, a guy that makes everybody look good, but still losing. For whatever reason. I have no idea why they just picked him for that. They have nothing for him. Just hide him. Just put him in NXT. Just put him away for a few months and just have him do whatever. Unless his contract is almost over and he's just, he's just putting people over just for doing whatever the company needs. And that's fine, I guess. But he's much better than that. Then we had Bronson Reed attack Sami Zayn backstage because he wants the IC championship again. Then Chad Gable comes out cutting a promo, roasting everybody yet again. By the way, today was promo day. Everybody on Raw was cutting a promo, a long one at that. But I guess it's a 3 hour long show, so it's kind of difficult to just put matches on. So then we had Chad Gable cutting a promo with Alpha Academy there, and he's like, oh yeah, because everything should be about me. I should have won the championship. I shouldn't have been training Sami Zayn. I was wasting my time, kind of like what I did with you. And he's referring to Alpha Academy. And then he's like, okay, you, Akira Tozawa, yeah, you're the funny guy, whatever, but you lose. Every time you lose. Then he goes to Maxine. He's like, oh yeah, pretty as a princess, but dumb as rocks. I'm like, oh, okay. That was interesting. And then he says that that Otis is his biggest disappointment of all. After he says, oh, he's my right-hand man and everything, but he's like, you're my biggest disappointment of all of her. So, that's cool. So I guess he's full heel now. And he wanted everybody to kind of agree with him and say that now everything is for Gable. Everything is for him. So now his mission is going to be to win that Intercontinental Championship. And he's full heel. He's full heel. It seems like he just went full tilt. And that's okay. I mean, I think he's going to do a damn good job. I hope they don't try to flip-flop him like they did with Big Show, or even with himself. I mean, because they've switched him around, I think, probably in his career, probably 10, 12 times. Like, it seems like they can't decide what to do with him. But he's finally getting something that he can work with, and he doesn't even need a championship for that. He just needs to be kind of this maniacal character, just trying to do whatever it takes to win that championship. And that's really cool. Let's see what happens. I think his story is going to be one of the most interesting in WWE in the next few months. Then we have Ricochet and Dominic have an exchange backstage. Then Ricochet leaves and Liv Morgan shows up. And they both look at each other. They both stare at each other silently, like a novela. It almost seemed like, I don't know if they're signaling that they were both in cahoots to injure Rhea, or if he's gonna dump Rhea and go with Liv, or what's going on. But it just seemed kind of awkward. And I know obviously WWE is doing that just to plant some seeds. Even if they don't do anything right now, eventually 3 or 4 months from now, it'll be like, oh yeah, look, that's what they did. That's where they were going with that. So it's fine. I mean, I thought it was interesting. Then Ricochet and Andrade defeat Santos Escobar and JD McDonough. Damian Priest then comes in cleaning house. He gives Ricochet an amazing razor's edge. And then he does a South of Heaven to Andrade. And then he's like, yo no necesito a nadie. Yo no necesito ustedes. In Spanish. Then he's saying, and then he says it in English, I don't need anybody. I told you guys I don't need anybody. And that's fine. And then he leaves. So I guess he's still mad. So I don't know where this is going to lead to with the Judgment Day. I think that I think some of it's going to fracture. And I don't know. I didn't see Finn Balor there either. I'm not sure what's going on 100%. It seems like JD McDonough is an idiot. Like, he can't get stuff straight. I really don't know. Plus the fact, Dom in that porn stash, that's really weird. Now, it does make me dislike him even more. So then, in the main event, we had a women's battle royal to determine who was going to be the new WWE Women's Champion. Really interesting match. I really liked it. It was really fun. We had a ton of spots. The party girls, I forget their names, Katana Chance and Kane Carter, they were doing all this flippy stuff, which was good. Then you have Piper Niven doing her powerhouse thing. You had Nia Jax doing her powerhouse thing. Then you had Becky Lynch trying to be the tough girl. It was just really, really, really fun. There was a little bit of everything. The only people that I think looked weak in this were Candice LeRae and Indy Hartwell, because they got eliminated by Maxine Dupree. And I understand why they did it, right? Per storyline. But they look really, really, really weak. And that's fine. At least they gave Maxine a little bit of a win, kind of, especially after that promo that Chad cut on her. She needed something to get her back in the game. And I'm glad for that. And I did like that before the match, Becky was backstage and she was talking to some of the women and she was interviewing them. And then she even told Maxine Dupree, she's like, this is the first time you've ever gone for the championship. Make sure they remember you. Oh, that was like, that's cool. That was really nice. Then Then we had Nia Jax and Becky Lynch were both outside. Oh, by the way, one thing before that, uh, uh, Chelsea Green is extremely entertaining. She got eliminated by Natalia. then all the referees were trying to keep an eye on Becky Lynch to make sure she was okay after she took a massive bump with Nia Jax, and where Nia Jax did a Uranagi and a Samoan drop using Piper Niven on Becky Lynch, and she got eliminated. But then she's like, "Wait a minute, nobody's looking at me," so she sat back on the ring apron and went back in. Nobody noticed. So that was fun. I know there's cameras and everything, and I know you have to suspend your disbelief, but I think that was kind of entertaining. Then afterwards, she got eliminated relatively quick. And we had the last three were Nia Jax, Becky Lynch, and Liv Morgan. I honestly thought it was going to be Nia Jax. I thought it should have been Nia Jax because I prefer to have a heel as champion, especially when it comes to stuff like this, because it's out of the ordinary. It's not a regular one-on-one. But they decided to go with the safe option, which was Becky Lynch. And that's fine. At least I'm glad they didn't go with Liv Morgan, because I don't think Liv Morgan is necessarily women's champion material. I do think that if they have a mid-card championship, she'll be fine, because she's fun. She's not bad in the ring, but I don't think she has that credibility, especially when you just had somebody like Becky Lynch. And before her, you had Charlotte. And before her, you had Becky Lynch, which are extremely credible in the women's division. Do I think they can make her credible? Not sure. But at least as of right now, she's not. So they should kind of hold the horses on that. Like I said, I really wanted Nia Jax to have a championship, especially if she may join the bloodline at some point. I do think it's a nice visual, her going up and, showing her championship. That would be pretty cool. But it is what it is. It is what it is. So like I said, we have Becky Lynch as our WWE Women's Champion. And, I hope they have a good run. I'm not sure who they're going to put who she's going to feud with. Good thing is, at least we have the draft. So I think the draft is going to shake things up a little bit, because the women's division on Raw is kind of weak right now. SmackDown by far is the more superior women's division. By far. So I think this is a good time, and they'll probably call up. I know Roxanne Perez, she was there, I think it was last week. It wouldn't shock me if you have a couple more. In fact, somebody like Valkyria from NXT, or even if they bring someone else, let's say a Jordan Grace or something, that would be pretty damn cool to feud with whomever's on Raw. I wouldn't be opposed to that, but at least I know they can shake things up, because I don't think Jade Cargill's ready. And they're going to keep Bianca and her together, so that's already out of the question. Bayley has her own championship, so let's see what's going to happen there. But anyways, all right, guys, so thank you for watching the show. As always, just remember to like, subscribe, comment, and let us know what else you think. What else do you want us to talk about? We may not just do the news. We'll do a bunch of other things, but just let us know so we can entertain you guys. All right. So take care. Peace out. Bye.